lot of vertebrates in this kind of shape.
That minigun in front of you is loaded and ready to fire. If you spot anything hostile during the flight, I suggest you put it to good use. Make sure you properly identify your targets before you start shooting. We don't want to have any mishaps and fire on the locals. The Commonwealth looks different from up here, doesn't it? It never ceases to amaze me how drastically your perception of the battlefield changes from the air. We're gonna need that edge when we take on the Institute. They've already proven that they're technologically superior, which means there's no telling what types of weapons they'll have in their arsenal. Hopefully, our air superiority and tactical know-how will make the difference. Now all we have to do is find them. And I'm betting that Elder Maxson will have a plan already in place by the time we arrive. I wish everyone down there believed in our cause. But they've been blinded by rumors and misinformation. They don't realize that the Brotherhood of Steel is the Commonwealth's last hope for survival. Every man, woman, and child below is in mortal danger. If we fail, it's only a matter of time before the enemy overwhelms the population. Cleansing the Commonwealth is our duty, and I will gladly spill my own blood if it ensures our victory. We're on final approach to the airport. The Prydwen should be coming into view just ahead. We'll be meeting Lancer Captain Kells on the flight deck. Just stick close to me and answer all of his questions.
Well, here's I guess I'd say, unexpected bit of news. I heard that a group of soldiers,
There she is.
constabulary? What do we call them?
It's been far too long since I've been aboard.
Soldiers.
All right, soldier.
From
This is the moment when
Brotherhood of
everything
Steel.
changes. I
Spotted
hope you're ready.
Commonwealth. Sounds like they were, well, they were kind of in trouble at the Cambridge police station. They were in pretty bad shape for a while. But those vault dwellers showed up and gave them a hand. Or a gun. The vault dweller helped them, is what I'm trying to say. Guess they'll probably be on their way soon, then. Right?
Oh, we're gonna die!
Hey, let me ask you something.
Here's Uranium Rock, a song about people getting rich by finding uranium. That worked out real well for all of us, didn't it?
Sure, ask away.
Joking.
It's just,
Joking. We went for
with
it.
everything that's happened with you, and it's a whole hell of a lot to process.
Yeah, I'm on.
Huh. You're a tough nut. Took me a long damn time to get a... Thank goodness I found Diamond City. It's got... Of course, when I took up there back when, people were just as scared of the Institute as they are now. Maybe more. The massacre of the CPG was still pretty fresh in people's minds at that point. And folks were still losing sleep over the broken mask. Plenty of people assumed I was just a saboteur, moving in to melt down the reactor or poison the drinking water. But at the time, they couldn't exactly turn me away.
Massacre of the CPG? What's that?
The Commonwealth Provisional Government. Years back, a group of settlements tried to get together and form a coalition. Every settlement with even a hint of clout sent representatives to try and hash out an agreement. Only the Institute sent a representative of their own, a synth. The man killed every rep at the talks. The Commonwealth Provisional Government was over before it even got off the ground. I took up in town not long after. I was damn lucky they didn't just tell me to scram right then and there.
Broken mask?
This was long before I'd moved to town, but apparently some gentleman type shows up in Diamond City, heads down to Power Noodles. Guess he didn't like the food because he pulled his pistol and opened fire on the folks enjoying theirs. When security finally put enough holes in him to drop him, they say he was full of servos and sprockets, just like yours truly. Seems he malfunctioned, went berserk. It was the first time people realized that synths had stopped looking like me, started looking like them. Gal of about pride and joy, known for an evening. Turns out the guy was part of a gang of kidnappers. I didn't even know who I was rescuing, just stumbled on a crying girl and 4 toughs. I took her home and the mayor dubbed me a hero, offered me a place in town. Lots of folks protested, said I was tricky at first, but I never tried to hide what I was, and people seemed to warm to that. Hey.
You're not a spy, right? Testing, hello. Institute, can you hear me?
Hell if I know. If I am, the Institute's plan to gather intel on all the runaways of the Commonwealth has been going off without a hitch.
Was it hard settling in?
Yeah, they sure didn't make it easy. I started off doing the jobs no one else wanted. I got more banged up being Diamond City's handyman than I ever did living out in the ruins. But I guess folks never forgot I rescued the mayor's daughter, so they started coming to me when people went missing. Wife runs off with a new paramour and takes the rent money with her. Talk to the synth. An upset father decides moving him and the kids to Good Neighbor in the dead of night's not the worst damn idea since the bomb. Go get Nick. After a while, the jobs got so backed up, they didn't even ask me to do the handyman stuff anymore. Hell, I was so happy to do it, it was months before I started charging anyone. I never stopped being Nick the Synth, but it was Nick the Detective folks came to see. It was about then that things finally started feeling normal. It took me a long time to realize that home is where you make it. And with some time and effort, this place can be home for you, too. That's a long story, but I hope it helps. Want to get moving?
Permission to come aboard, sir?
Permission granted, and welcome back, Paladin. Allow me to be the first to congratulate you on a successful mission. And is this our new recruit?
Yes, sir. I feel promoted him to initiate, and I'd like to sponsor his entry into our rankings personally.
Yes, we've read your reports. You'll be pleased to know that Elder Maxon's approved your request and placed the recruit in your charge.
Thank you, sir. And my current orders?
You are to remain on the Prydwen and await further instructions.
Very good, sir. Ad Victoriam, Captain.
Ad Victoriam, Paladin. So, you're the one Paladin Danse has taken under his wing. You don't look much like a soldier to me.
Right. And what's a soldier supposed to look like?
A soldier is supposed to be an efficient killing machine. Not a relic from the past, playing catch-up with the rest of the world. If Danse hadn't stepped in and vouched for you, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. Accepting outsiders like yourself has proven disaster. I've read Paladin Dance's reports. He seems to think you'll make a fine addition to the Brotherhood. You might expect an endorsement like that to grant you a great deal of latitude. The Brotherhood of Steel has traveled to the Commonwealth.
Sure.
As the captain of this vessel, I won't allow anyone to jeopardize our mission. Understood?
What exactly is your...
I'm not at liberty to say. Elder Maxon will be addressing the crew shortly. And I'm... Now, was there anything else?
Not even a hint? Come on. I deserve it.
No. You'll just have to wait. Now dispense with the questions. That's all for now, so your orders are to... If you have any questions...
Can you tell me anything about Elder Maxon?
Elder Maxon, without his tenacity, in a mere decade, he's an inspiration to us. Is there anything else?
Where can I get power?
Only knights are... Until Elder... Anything else?
What are my orders?
Your orders are to proceed to Elder Maxon's address, after which he wishes to speak with you. Anything else?
I don't have any questions.
Then I suggest you head over to the command deck immediately. Dismissed, Initiate.
Welcome aboard. Elder Max.
Brothers and sisters, the road behind has been long and fraught with difficulty. Each and every one of you has surpassed my expectations by rapidly facilitating our arrival in the Commonwealth. You have accomplished this amazing feat without a hint of purpose or direction. And most impressively, without question. Now that the ship is in position, it is time to reveal our purpose and our beneath the Commonwealth.
Well, here's a...
there is a cancer,
I guess you'd say...
known as the Institute.
Unexpected bit of news.
A malignant growth that needs to be cut before it infects the surface. They are experimenting with dangerous technologies that could prove to be the world's undoing for the second time in recent history. The Institute scientists have created a weapon that transcends the destructive nature of the atom bomb. They call their creation
Well, they were kind of in trouble
the Synth,
at the Cambridge
a
police
robotic
station.
abomination of technology that is free-thinking and masquerades as a human being. This notion
The vault
that a
dweller
machine
showed up.
could be granted free
They
will
gave him a hand.
is not only offensive,
Or a gun.
but horribly dangerous. And
So
like
the
the
vault
atom,
dweller helped them.
if
is
it
what I'm
isn't
trying to
harnessed properly, it has the potential of
probably
rendering
be other
us
ways to
extinct as a species.
Right.
I am not prepared to allow the Institute
Oh,
to
we're gonna
continue
die!
this line of experimentation.
Ah!
Therefore, the Institute
Put your
and their
feet.
synths are considered
well,
enemies of the
okay.
Brotherhood of Steel
Here it is.
and should be dealt with swiftly and mercilessly. This campaign will be costly, and many lives will be lost. But in the end, we will be saving humankind from its worst enemy. Itself. Ad Victoriam!
Ad Victorium! Ad Victorium!
I care about them, you know. The people of the Commonwealth.
Care about them? I thought we were preparing.
The Brotherhood is here to prevent a war by starting one of our own. The difference is, our war won't reduce civilization to ashes.
I hope this isn't another Brotherhood morals lecture.
Not at all. In fact, it's clear from Paladin Dance's report that you understand our core values. He feels you've become quite an asset to us. Seeing as he's one of my most respected field officers, you couldn't get a better recommendation. Therefore, from this moment forward, I'm granting you the rank of Knight. And, befitting your title, we're granting you...
A knight? What is this, the Dark Ages?
Judging from the state of the world, it wouldn't be a stretch to say we're living in that era again. In any event, once you're finished becoming familiar with the Prydwen and my staff, report to the flight deck for your new orders. Welcome aboard the Prydwen, soldier.
Status report.
Green across the board, sir. Nothing new.
Good. Carry on, Knight. Congratulations on the promotion, Knight. So how did it look out there?
Paladin.
Got a lot
There
of
you
work
are.
ahead of us, brother.
How did it go with Elder Maxon?
Maxon seems so young compared.
Don't let his age fool you. Maxon's a brilliant. I'd follow him
Uh-huh. Why are you so confident in his...
a decade ago.
Uh-huh.
The Elder before me, when Maxon took this ship and its...
He's a very...
Of course. I just hope you approve, not to put too fun.
Don't worry.
Good. Because we... Now, I know you're... In order to be an effective... Since I've been official...
I'll go it alone for now, and come find you.
Suit yourself.
Right.
Glad you finally stopped by, soldier. Are you ready for your...
What kind of medical...
There's nothing to be alarmed about. It's my responsibility to make... I'm going to ask you a first question. As a child, were you ever...
Wouldn't Vault-Tech's screening process have caught this already?
Vault-Tech's screening process? Let me check my notes here. You were a Vault Dweller? You're probably healthier than anyone else aboard. Anyway, sorry I missed that in your records. Just going down the list of questions. I'm sure you understand. Okay, second question. Have you ever had or come in contact with a person confirmed to be carrying a communicable disease?
Have you had problems with the crew catching diseases?
Well, yes, actually. It's not unusual for our recon teams to stumble across contaminated environments or disease-carrying creatures. We don't want a single crewman infecting the entire ship. Anyway, this exam is about you, so... Have you had or come in contact with anyone carrying a communicable disease?
Never been seriously sick in my life.
Good, good. Third question. And please, answer honestly. Have you ever had sexual relations with any species considered non-human?
Well, there was this one really ugly girl in college. I mean, I had to get drunk, and it was a dare, and ugh.
That hardly qualifies, so I'll just put no. Last question. Would you have any problems pulling the trigger on an enemy of the Brotherhood, whether they're human, formerly human, or machine?
That's more of a morals question, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I feel that the mental state of the crew is just as important as the physical. Anyone that hesitates firing in combat due to misguided moral standards certainly isn't Brotherhood material. So what about you? Would you have a problem with it?
I suppose so.
Good enough. Excellent. I think I've got all the information I need. I see no reason to prevent you from... if you ever need medical assistance.
The food in the mess hall isn't bad. Well, as long as you don't smell it before you eat it. There's a wealth of technology just waiting to be discovered out here.
How can I help you today?
Ah, good. You're finally here. Just set the books down anywhere. I'll get to them as soon as I can.
As long as you're carrying it.
Your silence is disconcerting.
What, not even a thank you?
I hardly need to... Oh my. It appears I've mistaken you for someone else. Since it's obvious that you aren't who I was expecting, would you mind telling me why you're here?
I'm asking myself the same thing.
I don't recognize you. Which leads me to the conclusion that you're a new recruit. Specifically, the one that Paladin Danse described in his report. Under normal circumstances, I'd provide you with a proper orientation of my department. However, I'm woefully behind setting up research patrols and...
Sure.
Unfortunately, I'm lacking the person.
What type of technical document?
The Brotherhood is
Right.
medical records, science.
What exactly is a research?
Simply put, we send a small two-man team to scout a location, saves us from sending an entire...
Maybe I could...
That would be splendid. As you patrol the Commonwealth, keep your eyes open for blueprints, memo. I'm authorized to pay you for each bundle of documents that you recover. And if you wish to be assigned to a research patrol, I have plenty of them. In any event.
Hey, I've already seen it, which I did, so I know it's true.
In my
and
experience,
not just something
hotshots and
overheard.
big mouths end up
Only
with
opens
closed
with a
casket
key.
funerals.
Nick Valentine is back in town. He was gone for a while, and some people, who are totally not me, thought that... Well, they thought he might be dead.
God.
Or destroyed, or whatever.
Was a really bad idea.
Glad you're back,
said she
Nick.
needed this suit tested yesterday.
Even though we never really
Yes,
talked.
get it. Just
Like,
You watch my back,
never.
I'll watch yours.
Don't.
okay.
This
sure.
here,
Firing.
Okay, it's Cole Porter, I guess. That's fun.
If you find any technical documents, you should bring them to Proctor Quinlan for analysis.
Good. Firing.
All right. Everything looks nominal. And you didn't scuttle the ship. Thanks, Initiate.
Sure. Anytime. Thank God.
That's it. Nice.
I really should have my armor adjusted while I'm here.
Never forget, you are the eyes and the ears of the Brotherhood. If you see or hear
There.
anything suspicious,
That should hold.
it is your
Thank you, sister.
You know, we wouldn't have to worry about them getting out if they weren't on the ship.
Your concerns are noted, Scribe. Give Proctor Ingram my thanks
Fencer Captain
for letting
Kells
me
is
borrow
one of the
you.
finest officers I've ever had the pleasure of
Excuse me,
serving.
Scribe Naraya.
Feel free to have a look at the specimens, but please don't touch anything. I refuse to be held responsible if you are injured.
Are all these creatures yours?
Well, they're an important part of my research. I'm on the cusp of discovering how these creatures' bodies have adapted to... If I can crack the code, I can equip our troops with a protective compound far superior to Rad-X.
What do you mean, crack the code?
The genetic code. The DNA sequences that are in every living thing. You see, the ionizing radiation left behind by the Great War kills because it damages most living things on a cellular level. However, after several generations, these creatures' bodies have adapted by altering their genetic makeup to prevent cellular disruption. I believe I've discovered how I can replicate that genetic restructuring rapidly. Instead of decades, I can do it in moments. For a short period of time, anyway.
I'm sold.
I appreciate the specimens I've already... What I need are more samples.
No problem.
I appreciate your comment.
Sure.
I've modified your... All you have to do is... Hey, I really...
Uh-huh.
Oh man, if I'm late for muster one more time, Captain Kells is gonna have me doing 100 push-ups.
Joining our cause was the wisest decision of
Proctor
your life,
Ingram?
brother. So, you're the new recruit I heard about.
Mm-hmm. I can handle myself.
Hey, if Paladin Danse vouched for you, that's good enough for me. You just don't look like one of the usual wastelanders we pick up. Anyway, since you came down here to meet me, we may as well get it over with. My name's Ingram, and this lovely little grease pit is where you'll usually find me. If your power armor's too tight in the crotch, the Prydwen's about to crash into the ground, or a robot's gone haywire, you come see me.
You should add teaching charm school lessons to the list.
Sorry to disappoint you, but when you're as busy as I am, there isn't much time for bowing and curtsying. There isn't a day that goes by on this tub without 5 or 6 things breaking down. And since I'm stuck in this rig, I'm not quite as spry as I used to be. The work tends to pile up.
You feel like telling me how you ended up that way?
That's a little personal, don't you think?
Would it help if I promised not to tell anyone else?
I'm not really looking for... Anyway, there's a pretty... Oh, and if you... Now, if you'll excuse...
Step forward, Knight. Even though they've locked me in this blasted cage.
Looks uncomfortable in there.
It's not that bad. Now this is the stowage deep. The powers that be.
Right.
If you need to stock...
That's good to know.
I'm glad. When I tell the good news, yeah, I'm mostly in... Of course.
I could use some extra caps.
You need them. It just didn't... And since I'm... After you're done with the meet and greet. In the meantime, if you ever need anything else, a gun...
There. By Elder Maxon's orders, all forms of technology should be confiscated or collected.
Tighten up the knee.
Yeah.
Now that you've familiarized yourself with the Prydwen's crew.
Yes, Ilk.
Good. Take a look over there. That's Fort Strong. And it's infested with having those aberrations of nature close enough to smell as To make matters worse, they're sitting on top of a mass. I want you to head over there. Wipe out every...
Right.
Understood?
Consider it done.
Look, I realize the Brotherhood cannot allow...
Super mutants?
Sure.
Now, we have a vertibird on standby. Fully. Use it to carry our mess. Dismissed.
Knight.
Yeah, boy. You sure you want to waltz through Brotherhood HQ with a synth at your side?
As
got a new reception.
Yeah.
I can't believe super mutants were human once.
I hope you enjoyed that last song.
How could science have gone so wrong?
Okay.
This is our supply depot. Unless you're here on official business, I need you to clear out.
So,
remember your 3 C's. Cranium,
here
front,
in Diamond City that you might want to know about. I've heard, I mean, it seems that Nick Valentine is looking into some former residents of Diamond City. There was a house it was in the West Stands, and there was a guy and a kid living there, and they didn't really bother anyone, but, well, I guess maybe there was something funny about the whole thing, and I mean weird funny, not haha funny. I mean, I saw the guy, and he looked, sort of scary, but, well, I don't really know much more than that. But,
welcome aboard. Instruments are green, and we're cleared for release.
Or the guards. Or maybe both. Elton Britt is next with a song that, well, frankly, it sounds very irresponsible for several reasons. Here's Uranium Fever.
Target acquired. I'll try and keep them in your sights. Primary target down. Look at this thing, please. I'm gonna find a place to set her down and then hightail it back to Brentwood for repairs.
bomb could go off in this place and no one would be the wiser.
We should head over to the Nakano residence when we can. Find out what their case is about.
Wish a buckethead would show up.
I think they're gonna have to forfeit their deposit.
Getting hungry. So boring. I hear something.
Who doesn't love some Louis Jordan? Right? I am. Because Louis Jordan rules.
Out there! Somewhere!
You're the kind of person who is, tired of
What's that?
Sure made a mess of this place, didn't they?
Nothing. I hear something. Face me, you coward! Face me, you coward! Look me in the eyes and die!
Underestimate us again.
I am. Because Louis Jordan rules.
Yeah.
You're listening to, Diamond City Radio. If you're listening at all. I mean. This is Civilization by, it's by Danny Kaye.
Scream! Scream for your worthless life! God! Spineless human! You're here! You're here! Stop hiding! Something there. I am a super.
What's that?
I am unstoppable.
I guess it's safe now. Bothering anybody now.
Yes.
Watching a conductor at the orchestra. they're gonna have to forfeit their deposit. Someone made a real mess of you, didn't they? Tell me we don't need to find something in here, because that may take a while.
Oh, what's that? Someone there? Ah, I'm hearing stuff. I hear something. What? Who's there?
So, this is what 2 centuries without a good dusting looks like.
John, what is it?
A place like this. There.
Must have been nothing. A noise.
That
Your
is going to
ears
stay.
play tricks on me again. No fight today.
Not so long as you're carrying it. You're playing high tech.
Go on. Kill them! Kill them all!
That was Butcher Pete by Roy Brown. Not the other way around.
Lights out for you!
Coming to you from, the jeweled green... the green... the great green jewel of the Commonwealth. It's Diamond City Radio. Next is Ella Fitzgerald, who doesn't like it when people can't decide things, and then sings about it.
Looks like the last time I got a checkup in here. I hate to say it, but they're probably safer in our hands than out there in the wild.
Paladin.
Look at this place. You must hate these mutants as much as I do.
Why do you hate super mutants so much?
Hate's too gentle a word. These monstrosities are just another example of man blindly taking a step forward, only to wind up stumbling 2 steps back. I've been fighting for years, trying to put... I've seen what these super mutants do to people.
Right.
It would be Armageddon. Look, I don't mean to...
Don't apologize. It reminds me why I'm doing this.
Thank you, brother. It's good to know you're taking my advice to heart. Anyway, that's enough of that. What's important here is that you got the job done and secured these warheads. You should head back up to the Prydwen and talk to Maxon. I'm sure he'll want to debrief you as soon as possible. Dismissed.
Communications
Outstanding
array
work at Fort
calibration
Strong,
test
soldier.
successful. All bands nominal.
What happens at Fort Strong now?
Paladin Danse is supervising the transfer of the Fat Man warheads to the Prydwen. They'll provide quite an edge to our arsenal. I've also ordered a attack. All in all, you handled it.
Right. It was an honor fighting for the Brotherhood.
I'm glad you feel that way. Because our mission here, in order to bring the Institute to its knees, we need to use every weapon. I try to supply my signal grenades can call a vertibird to your location when you need. Simply throw one to the ground. Once you're aboard.
Where can I get more signals?
I'd use the supply I gave you sparingly. These devices are far more complex than a standard smoke grenade. Should you need more, you should acquire them from Proctor Tegan.
Will the vertibird stay and help me fight?
I'm afraid I can't spare a fully armed gunship for this task. A standard transport will have to suffice. Of course, nothing stopping you from using the door gun while in flight.
The best weapon for survival out here is a pocket full of caps.
Signal grenades are usually reserved for our paladins. In your case, you should be grateful. Now, an even greater task lies ahead. By now, I'm sure you've deduced that our arrival in the Commonwealth wasn't coincidental.
Know where to look.
We're here.
That was Anything Goes by Cole Porter. That was Anything Went.
Control systems all reporting back nominal.
Stupid. Now here's another, well, it's some news about things in the world that have happened that, I don't know, maybe you hadn't already heard about. It sounds like, from what I heard, people saying in the bar the other night, there was a, what would you call it? Well, I guess it was some sort of chems deal, like selling them or something, and it went bad.